All right. So in the last section, we spoke about, well, a couple of different questions that we might have after we went over that little CodePen project. Now we're going to really start to move forward. So the first big topic that we're going to talk about is JSX. So I want to make sure that you have a good understanding about the rules behind it and, so that you can determine its behavior and predict its behavior. So now in order to learn more about JSX, we're going to need to be able to write JSX in the first place. So earlier and so far, we have written a little bit of JSX over on CodePen, and CodePen is a terrific tool. However, my goal in this course overall is to make sure that you understand how to work on professional React projects. So rather than continuing to use CodePen, we're going to move over to our local code editor, and we're going to generate professional work on React projects rather than using CodePen. And then, when you're a professional, you can go back and use CodePen, but I want you to know how it works. So we need to generate new React projects on the local computer in order to do so. So we're going to go through a couple of different steps, and each of the steps are pretty straightforward, but understanding what's going on is, it might be a little challenging. So pay attention. So the first thing that we have to do is make sure that you have Node.js installed on your local machine. After you check that, we're going to install a tool called Create React App, which we're going to use to generate a new React project. And then after that, we can start to play around with JSX a little bit. So now in this video, I do want to focus on just making sure that you have the Node.js installed on your local machine. As a quick note, if you know that you already have Node.js installed, then just feel free to move on to the next video. But I need you to know. So I'm trusting you. Stick around if you don't. And even if you just want to, review. All right, you ready? Here we go. So now, if you're not sure that you have the Node.js installed in your local machine, you can open up Terminal and run the command node-v, like so. So when you run that command, you should see a number like this. If you don't see a number, if you see an error message that says command not recognized or command not found, that means that you probably don't have the node installed and you need to go through the installation process. So why don't we do that together right now? In order to install Node.js, we're going to open up a new browser tab and navigate to that link that you see here open on the screen. So now I'm going to open up a new tab and I'm going to navigate to it, and then you'll see a page like this appear. Might not be a surprise. Node.js installation process is pretty much straightforward. So you'll select the installer for your particular operating system, and then if you're on Linux, you can get the Linux version down here as well. So you may have guessed it already, I'm on Mac OS. So I would download the Mac OS installer. It's a pretty quick download for me. So once you download that installer, you will see a window like this appear. Now, even if you're on Windows, you're going to see a very similar message. So all we have to do here is click Continue, Continue, and so on. And that's pretty much it. Then after you go through the installation process, we can then open up our terminal again and make sure that Node was successfully installed by running it. Node-v. And here you should see a number appear. And again, if you don't see that number appear after going through the installation process, it's totally fine. But in order to get that number to appear, you might have to restart your terminal. Now, you don't have to restart your whole computer, right? Just your terminal. So make sure you just close it down and quit every terminal or command line window that you have already opened, and then start back up and try running node-v again. So assuming that everything got set up properly, we can move on, because that's where we're going to download this Create React App tool, and then we can use it to generate a new project. So we'll take a mini break now, and I'll see you in just a minute.